Let's face it, life isn't easy. If you're stuck in a bad relationship, betrayed or afraid of tomorrow, financially insecure, or desperate for a breakthrough, you've come to the right place. Dr. Carmen Harra is a renowned psychologist, intuitive, relationship expert, and best-selling author, and she's here to give you the miracle guidance you need. Her new call-in show, Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life, offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions, all for you. Dr. Harra's show aims to eliminate everyday problems, big and small, with topics like healing your relationships, reclaiming your power, achieving better health, dealing with loss, and so much more. Regain the joy, stability, and fulfillment you deserve to feel. Tune in to Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life with host Dr. Carmen Harra, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and find the answers you've been looking for.
Good evening, everybody. So excited to be with you tonight, like every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, on OMTime Radio. I'm Carmen Harra. And every show, I'm trying to come up with something different, something more interesting, something to help you improve something in your life. And as you know very well, my expertise is towards healing, relationship, and especially, releasing and healing from toxic relationship. As Valentine is coming, I thought to myself, let me help you and guide you to heal from difficult relationship. There's a lot of toxicity out there when it comes to relationship, and we're not aware, and we're not aware what to do about that. I'm going to go step by step into the things that we need to do, because relationship can be healthy and unhealthy. But tonight's show is about unhealthy relationship, the kind of relationship that causes sleepless night, anxiety, anguish, and those relationships that leave you questioning life itself. Chances are that you've been in that kind of a relationship at least at once. And if you made it alive, then I have to congratulate you. Now, this is the time, to talk about how to create a fabulous relationship with your significant other. But if you're stuck in an unhealthy relationship, what do you do? So I decided to host a show tonight about healing from bad relationship, because the sad truth that many people today in our world live in unhealthy relationship, ones that damage them and leave them, forever altered. So if you find yourself in such a position, I want you to know that you can change that. Whether you're still holding on to a person who's hurting you and want to mend your heart and mind after painful ordeal, this episode can offer you a new direction in your love life. Because I'm here to offer you guidance on how to gently detach from something bad, from a bad person, and recover from a negative experience in love. Because I deal with people on a daily basis, and I'm hearing stories like I went through this divorce. Women going through divorce years and years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years through a divorce. And you can imagine what that does to those people. People who, swear to be together for the rest of their life, and 3 years later, 10 years later, they end up by hating each other and then go to court, and it's just becoming ugly. So before anything else, you should ask yourself, what is a normal relationship and what is an abnormal relationship? What determines these things? I'm always receiving different answers from different people. The woman who's been lied and cheated, that she will always say, oh, all men are the same. They're all cheaters, they're all bad, they all lie. But what about the woman who's been married to her wonderful husband for 30 years, and she might say, yes, unconditional love exists, support exists. Normality is subject to a personal experience. But if your relationships are unhealthy, your interpretation of love can become distorted. Whatever your definition might be, we can all agree on one thing. A normal relationship is one in which both partners help, encourage, and rely on each other. A balanced relationship stimulates your highest feeling of love, of acceptance, of empathy. But one word that I've heard a lot lately is called toxicity. Toxic referring to something that is poisonous and harmful. So in terms of love, a toxic relationship is one that causes more harm than good and creates those constant feelings of anxiety, anger, even a lot of depression. But are toxic relationship becoming a new norm? If you're listening to my show, please call in 202-570-7057 and please share with me what you think about this. Because we become immune to everything we experience nowadays. We can easily mistake our own toxic relationship for being normal. For this reason, I have to honestly evaluate the things that are happening between two people and face the relationship of your reality of your relationship. Now, the first person who will tell you that your relationship is toxic has to be yourself. I don't have to come and analyze and tell you it's toxic. You have to become aware. And your own intuition will reveal whether you should be involved with that person or you should not be involved. So trust your gut. Trust your gut no matter how far it seems from the reality of the moment. Because sometimes when the things, something, or everything, or something seems off, that is off. You know, people know how to lie, but your intuition doesn't. So rely on that inner voice to assume that you are safe to grow with that person for many years to come. Now, in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, normal relationships they are balanced, they are fair, both partners put in a necessary effort to make them fair, and one side shouldn't do more than the other. They should participate equally. Your relationship should not be marked by arguing, yelling, bickering, or any form of violence. No matter how much you both swear you love each other and want to be together, unless these kinds of emotions are controlled, the relationship isn't healthy for either person involved. The energy between you should be as beautiful as the surface of a lake. Everything becomes angry once in a while, and that's tolerable. But as long as your relationship doesn't involve daily outbursts of anger, there is no reason why it can move forward. But you know what? Your partner is repeatedly lying to you about where he's going, what is he doing, what is he seeing. And then all of a sudden you feel that the relationship can get too far. Because pathological liars are characterized by serial dishonesty. To them, a lie is simply easier to tell than the truth. Everybody will get caught sometime in a lie here and there, but your partner shouldn't be deceiving you regularly. Now, integrity, honesty, these are words that they are kind of erased from the dictionary, but those words should be alive and should exist. And both of you and your partner should be trusting each other. A healthy relationship won't have you feeling uncomfortable about any part of yourself, or won't have you feel anxious and with constant feeling of insecurities. So your partner should point out your stronger traits and encourage you to become even better. That's the way it should be. So any form of addiction in a relationship is abnormal to me. It is extremely difficult to live with an alcoholic, with a drug user, with a person who suffers from mental, emotional disorder. And trust me, a lot of people are suffering from this nowadays. And in the long run, this type of behavior issue will take their toll on your partner, hurting not only the person who has the condition, but the person who cares for him. So both partners must have a very pure mind, body, and soul, and recognize the significance of physical, emotional, and mental health. I think that what needs to be done in this society, in this world, in our evolution, is recognize the significance of mental health. Because you must match each other at every other level, but you also have to match at the mental level. Because your partner is supposed to stir up your mental senses with his knowledge, with his wisdom. This means that he should continue to engage with you, intrigue you, stimulate you. This is not only about a physical attraction, the chemistry, but it's also about emotional intimacy and the mental connection. Relationships have to be alive on a mental note as much as they are alive on a physical sense. So if your love interest doesn't provoke your mind, you probably are not that compatible. So lastly, it's not normal if you no longer feel love for the person you are with, which happens. You might stay with him for the sake of financial stability, or splitting because of the children, but love is absent, and what that is missing, it's terrible. Because you should be able to count the reason why you fell in love with your partner, and your feelings for him should remain consistent over time. Usually your partner will give you off red flags that will be very hard to ignore. So consider your commitment to a person who's committed, because if he is complicated from the beginning, it only will become more complicated in time. Your partner might have probably, let's say, children from another marriage, and there's nothing wrong about that. But if he brings those kids into your life and allow those kids to make your life miserable, then you know what's going to happen. Your partner might have trust issues from his bad experiences. What I'm trying to say is that in a relationship, you have to compromise when it comes to all this kind of complication. But if a person refuses to compromise, the relationship can survive. And equal to compromise is emotional stability. A person who displayed mood swings. Have you ever been seeing people around you with mood swings that disrupt your inner harmony? People have mood swings. Today at the sweetest, tomorrow they're angry and miserable and unstable. So this is what's very significant to pinpoint. If you're exposed to bitterness, to resentment, to anger all the time, you sort of duplicate those emotions, and you become a person you don't want to be. So these are things that we should be aware when it comes to toxic relationship. You should be always aware, that your partner is disloyal, that your partner is stingy and greedy. So pay attention to all these problems, that have to do with not only trust, but also the other, self-destructive pattern of behavior that you might notice in your partner. If you want to call the show, the call-in, I know I have a lot of callers already. I have Jonathan, I think Leilani, I have Julia, I have Kim, so you guys hold on the line. I'll be with you in a moment. And make sure you ask me things about your relation. I'm very curious to see what's your take on this topic. The number to call in is 202-570-7057. But before I go to your calls, I would love to tell you about one of my interesting experiences that has absolutely nothing to do with this show, but it's something I would love to tell you in 2 words. I discovered a very interesting site right now. So I want you to, when you have time, and if you're intrigued by this, go to Apple Store or Google Play and create an account on something that is called My Angels. My Angels is something that is going to intrigue you. Is just such a positive place anyone wants to be on, because when we go on Facebook, we see so much garbage sometimes. So many people putting all kinds of messages out there. But we want to be, staying away. We're tired of ugly truth. We're tired of lies. We want to stay away from the misery of life. We want to create something positive. We want to engage in supporting each other, in loving each other. So I think that when I found this site, My Angels, I was very impressed because you go there, you create an account, and you can put your thoughts, and you will see a lot of people can share your thoughts or can answer you if you're in need in something. It's almost like every single day you start a new chapter in the book of your life. And if you do this, and you express yourself, you will be amazed to see that other people interact in a positive way. If you put your wish, you receive energy from a lot of people who share with you the same opinion. Something positive. This is a very, very rewarding experience. So once you have an account, you can also search for me or search for friends, search for other people. And in a very short period of time, you will start receiving a lot of light, a lot of support. You will see an angel coming to you all the time on the side. And so good thoughts, will come to you. We need that good energy. It gives you a great feeling of being supported from different corners of the world, from people you never met who come with a good energy towards you. So try this. I highly recommend to go to Apple Store or Google Play and create an account on My Angels. And people will be able to write to you beautiful things. And again, there's nothing negative in the site. Everything is about spirituality. It's about positivity. And it refers to wanting to be good. It refers to dreaming about create better things in your life, create the best version of yourself. So yeah, My Angel, this is called, and I highly recommend this to all of you to create an account and even look for me and send me your opinion and tell me your thought and your wishes. I'm going to go and take a short break and then take your calls after the break. And I'm going to go to, I think I'm going to take Jonathan, and then I'm going to take Julia because she's from overseas. And then I'll go to Leilani and Kim.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organisation, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
Coping-19, brought to you by CDC and the Ad Council.
If you're feeling increasingly lonely right now, you're not alone. It's totally normal. Even though we may not be able to get together in person, connecting virtually with friends and family still gives you a chance to interact with people and may help raise your spirits. Join a virtual book club, set up group text chats, or online video coffee breaks with coworkers.
Find more self-care and coping tips at coping-19.org.
And I'm back on OMTime Radio. So excited to be with you because it's so important to heal from a toxic relationship. And that's my topic today. Love is that emotion that has the power to penetrate all the other emotion, healing us on our deepest levels of being. But what happens when love itself becomes corrupt and negative emotion creep in, such as fear, hatred, or anger? So the result is a distorted version of love known as toxic love. And none of us wants to believe that there is a toxic relationship, but in fact, Many people are in unhealthy relationship than in healthy ones, and many people are actually in toxic relationship. And here the mechanism of our brain is to blame, because our brains are split into sections. It's like a school with many classrooms. One classroom teaches science, one math, one writing, and so on. There's an even harmony spread throughout so that no one subject overlaps another. But when all students of all schools only attend math, then no other subjects are abandoned. So this principle applies to classroom within our brain. If you're only focusing on a person who you're in love day and night, then you are ordering all the neurons in your brain to go to that particular section of thought. And over time, neurons form bonds and establish relationships that multiply in number. So if you're obsessed about what your husband is doing every day, chances are you can't concentrate on anything else. And if you're stuck on an ex-partner, chances are, you don't let him go. So I'm telling you, ideally is you want the neurons in the brain spread out evenly throughout different areas of your life. Like those students, in the classroom, that's the way the neurons work within the brain. So the word actually obsessed comes from the Latin word obsidere, which means to sit inside or to occupy. That person that occupies your brain. So make sure you understand your obsession with something or someone or a specific person. So those people become the main concern of your mind. So I want you to rethink, because me as a psychologist and as a relationship specialist, I see all sorts of cases every day. But this is, the case of obsession with another person is something that I encounter very, very frequently. It's like the old phrase, you always want what you cannot have. But before I go more in depth in this, I want to take a call. I said I'm going to talk to Jonathan from New York. Hi, Jonathan.
Hello.
Hi, my dear.
I actually like math, so I would like the school that only teaches math.
Okay, I got it.
But 6 years ago, I got married, and 6 years ago, I got separated. And it turns out my wife was just interested in getting the green card, and which she didn't get, but that was what she was focused on. I remember telling a friend of mine 5 years ago around Valentine's Day that I didn't have any hope that I would meet anyone else. And it's 5 years later, and I haven't met anyone else. And actually, my zest for life is actually gone. I know you're supposed to count your blessings and show gratitude and all of that, but I actually don't really care about what I've got. I care about what I don't have.
I'm tomorrow morning, I'm on a show, and the producer wanted me to explain, what are the steps to understand what happens to you, when you're in a situation like yours. It's interesting. So and one of the steps, I talk first of all, okay, you can guess who your partner is by understanding your own archetype, which stems from your partner's behavior, and your own archetype and your partner's archetype. And there you go, whether that person is really for you or is just for the green card. And another thing is reflect on on what that relationship represented to you, the biggest obstacle, and why did that end. But you got your answer. So your answer is, okay, that person was not genuine, had just an interest. And here I am 6 years later, and I still feel I'm damaged. I still feel I can't break through. I don't seem to be able to move forward. Now, do you think you're able to detach from that past, or is still, like I said, the neurons in the brain still form that obsession with a situation that happened 6 years ago, and you are not able to let it go?
Well, I've forgotten most of the details of what happened, fortunately, but I think what's really the case is I would like someone who is as good as the person I thought she was. And as time goes on, I see, well, that seems completely impossible, that I won't meet anyone like that.
Okay, so how long did that last, by the way?
Well, I met her 3 years before we got married, but since she was overseas, to be perfectly honest, we only spent about 2 months in each other's company before she came over to the United States.
Okay.
And then 4 months later, we were separated.
So at the beginning, your impression was great. You never had any red flags, anything, any indicator that she might do this to you, or she has a different motive?
Actually, a lot of her behavior was strange. And even though I'm a numbers person, I can't say exactly what percentage, maybe 40%, was strange, but I always came up with excuses for her behavior. For example, she didn't really speak much. She knew English perfectly well, but she didn't really speak much, and I didn't know about her friends. And I thought it was maybe because that was just her personality, maybe sort of like on the autism spectrum or something like that. But then I realized afterwards that no, it's because she didn't want me to know details of her life, so that once I figured out what she was about, I wouldn't have anywhere to go. And so I made up lots of excuses for her strange behavior. So yes, there were red flags, but I made up excuses for all of them.
Well, you never thought to introspect a little bit deeper. It's very hard to do that. Her emotion, her behavior, her reaction to your emotion, what she invoked in you, you never pay attention to all those details. You were just convinced that, from the outside, the surface, the presence, probably she was very charismatic. She probably was attractive. You felt a connection, a chemistry. Was that a great motivator for your decision to marry her?
Yeah, I admit she was attractive, and to be perfectly honest, we didn't have that much chemistry, but I thought, well, why would she be with me if she wasn't interested? And I, of course, assumed that she might be trying to scam me, and she did things that made me believe that she was not. Like, she did things that I thought, well, someone who's trying to scam me would never do that. For example, I met the people she said were her parents.
Very clever person.
Yeah, and I now realize it was clever on her part that she did the things that would make someone like me believe that she was genuine. Yeah.
Okay, and obviously the communication was a problem. She didn't open up. She was more like an introverted personality. That was more her archetype. There was definitely something that made her that she knew how to make you give in, you know what I mean, and fall for her. And when something like this happens, this leaves a mark. This creates that you damage, somewhere it damaged you, and you need that healing. You need the healing force. You need to bring somebody in your life who's going to help you heal from this experience. That's the only way that you can break through something like this. Otherwise, you're going to turn in circles and feel like you're stuck. And it does feel like you're stuck because 6 years is a long time for a man like you not to be able to bring someone else into your life. And almost like there's a side of you that doesn't even want anybody else because doesn't want another disappointment. Do you agree?
Well, I actually literally didn't meet anyone. I mean, the last 2 years, we had the pandemic, of course.
Exactly,
but a year after the separation, I was out of it for a year. And then when I started to recover, I actually don't know what happened to 2018 or 2019. I really, thinking back, I'm wondering
Have you ever heard
happened.
anything from this woman ever? And did she get her green card, by the way?
She did not get it through me because I did not. She had thought that I had submitted the application when I had not.
So she couldn't fool you, but she probably tried to fool someone else.
She may have. According to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service, she did leave the country. So if she came back, it would have had to have been through somebody else. But I tried joining Match, and I remember writing at least 2,000 messages to different women, and getting only about 5 responses, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So I just didn't meet people. I did go to a few events, social events from the college university I went to had alumni events, and I tried going to those, and I had interesting conversations, but they almost never went anywhere.
You know what I want you to do, Jonathan? I want you to take to do something that's called journaling. Take a notebook, and for 7 days, write your emotion morning, afternoon, and the evening. And when I say emotion, when you wake up in the morning, you have a certain feeling. But go deeper than just feeling happy or sad, and just introspect what is within you, okay, I'm anxious, I am angry, so whatever you feel, go in and go deeper and analyze the source of that emotion, because emotions, are without us even realizing, they dominate our action, if even the inability to break through this situation that you're in has a lot to do with some feelings that are there, that are like a residue of a disease that has never been fully healed. And after 7 days, you will be amazed to notice that you do have a dominant emotion. And that dominant emotion is there and is defining what is blocking you here. Believe it or not, let's forget about the pandemic and the 2 years of a pandemic, because we're coming out of this. And I personally think that somebody extraordinary is going to come into your life and help you heal from this experience. And finally, you know what I mean, you will be able to even call me back if you want and tell the world, hey, I found the right person for me. In long terms, you'll see how opposite this new person is versus that bad experience and that person who had no ability to communicate with you properly because she had a plan. She was just in your life because she had something to get from you, not because she really cared about you, wanted to be with you. So let me know if you want to call me back one day to the show and let me know what is that dominant emotion after 7 days of working on yourself. Can you do that?
Yes, I'll do it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling me, Jonathan. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
And I'll come to your wedding if you invite me.
Okay, I will.
Okay. All right, my love. Thank you, my dear. And I'm going to go to Julia. Hi, Julia.
Hello, Carmen. How are you doing?
Hi, beautiful girl. How are you, my love?
Thank you. I'm fine. I love your topic, as always.
Okay.
You pick great topics. But today I'm obsessed with something else. So it's the relationship with my dentist or the orthodontist that I couldn't find. I wanted to ask you, what do you think? If I should leave the situation how it's now, I will be happy with it in 20 years, in 30 years, because
which situation, Julia, you are referring? I'm missing something here.
Yeah, so perhaps you remember, I wanted to buy an orthodontic treatment to align my tooth.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but nobody knows what to do. Some people tell me I need to extract some tooth. They don't know how many. They propose me different treatment. I didn't met yet the perfect one. So
I don't think you should do anything now. I think you should take a break and allow this to come to you in the proper timing, because everything has a timing. And my opinion is this is not the time. You're facing so many obstacles, so much opposition about this. Because of that, let it go for now. Don't try to fix it if it's not broken. And it's not really broken. You just want to change something because you think it should be. But you see, the response of the people in the field is very confusing, almost like they don't even know how to handle it, So bottom line is, the timing is not, the answer is not in any of those people. So the wisdom is put it on hold, don't do anything yet, and let's wait.
Yes.
Let's wait a little bit longer, and you will see that if you wait, you will be very happy and very pleased how the things will turn around for you probably in another year, probably in 5 years. We're not going 30 years from now. No, we're going in a number of years from now when probably the technology will evolve. You know, humanity moves very fast.
Yes,
figure it out, different treatment. You know, by the way, from everybody listening, this incredible discovery is that we actually can create organs that the body is not going to reject. Okay, let's say somebody has a congestive heart failure. In the lab, we can create a similar heart with the heart that doesn't function anymore. Or somebody has cancer of the skin, we can actually replace the skin that we need to cut with the skin that is identical. So we can create in the lab through the stem cell any organ we want. So medical field is progressing towards something so revolutionary that in the future, if an organ in a human body will collapse, we will be able to replace it with an identical organ that the body is not going to reject. So that's so fantastic for the medical field. So exactly address this issue to you. Let's wait and see what discoveries are humanity gonna come with that is not gonna force you to do anything drastic right now. Take no tooth. You don't have to. You know what I mean? Let's wait. Let's wait.
Yeah. But Carmen, I know that like a month ago you told me that this person will come faster, like in a matter of a week. So
if you were looking for somebody, that somebody might be there. But the message in a deeper, analysis.
Yeah.
If I go deeper now, like you put it in a different perspective. I know if you want to really do a surgery, you can do a surgery tomorrow. If somebody says, I need to operate something because I need to, and you will find a surgeon. But probably the wisdom is to wait a little bit and see what other messages, what else is out there. So what I felt when you asked me, is there somebody coming there? Yeah. But all the delays and all the blockages are pointing towards the fact that you should not look for that person. You understand?
Yes, I understand. Yes, you're right. I agree.
So let's be in alignment and agreement that waiting is the wisdom, and we want to wait.
Correct. Thank you so much. I'll do that. I'll put it on hold for now.
Okay, my love. I love you, my Julia.
I love you. Thank you.
Okay,
Goodbye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
my dear. Bye-bye. And I'm going to go and take a break, and then I'll be back with you guys in a moment. I'm going to go to Leilani.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. ascendinghearts.com.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of OMTimes Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going On? My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from new thought teachers, speakers, and researchers pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
If I could be you,
and you could be me, for just 1 hour,
if you could find a way
to get inside each other's mind,
walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out, and for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
my shoes.
And I'm back on OMTime Radio. So excited to be with you tonight. And again, I'm going to go to let you know one more time about this interesting app that I want you to look into that is actually free, called My Angels. Is a new metaverse. And the only one that shows you the light, the only one when people can go and just express good intention, people who share interests in spirituality. I really think you're going to love it. I love the idea. I believe that a big group of people can sustain your wishes. Like if you put your wish, a beautiful wish out there, you will see how a lot of people are supporting everything, are praying for you, are sending you light, are sending you messages of encouragement. And I think we need that. I think we are born to interact with each other, but interact in a positive way. We're tired of being judged and blamed and, put in a corner. We want to be supported. We want to be empowered. And this is what My Angels does. So if you go and get it on the Apple Store or Google Play, you can find it and open an account in 2 seconds. You will love it because the chances of fulfilling your wishes that are on the side are even greater. When a lot of people are supporting this, so are supporting your intention. It's just an amazing feeling, and I do believe that something like this can make your dreams come true. So I think that with the help of My Angels, you can have a chance to build your own spiritual group for the first time. You can become a spiritual leader in your community. You can help other people grow. We can help each other. I'm a strong believer, and that's why that's the reason we are in this world, to help each other. And the site is called My Angels. So please check it out on Apple, Google, and install it and be part of it. And just look for me because I'm there too. So I got so excited when I saw this. Okay, so my show tonight was all about how to release and heal from toxic relationship. And also don't forget about my book, Committed, Finding Love and Loyalty Through the 7 Archetypes. Because if you're in a bad relationship, you need to learn your own archetype. Your personality traits stem from your own archetype. And the way for you to prevent a divorce, a separation, a breakup is by learning first about who you are, what are your strengths, your weaknesses, your capacity to love, your capacity to commit, and what are your partners. So is your partner a match? Is your archetype a match for the other archetype? Now remember, there's a dominant archetype and a recessive archetype. But always try to learn much more about this, and you will be amazed to notice how interesting and how instrumental it is in finding out how to be in the right relationship. I would love for you to let me know what you think about my new book, Committed, Finding Love and Loyalty Through the 7 Archetype. And you can send me an email at carmenharra with any of your questions. If you have something to ask about my book or any questions for yourself, feel free to email me. I'm going to go to Leilani. Hi, Leilani.
Hi, Carmen.
Leilani.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hi, hello.
How are you?
I'm okay. I love your topic, and I need to talk about kind of what's happening. My brother died January 26th, and I'm in Cheyenne. Yeah, I'm in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and we had the funeral Thursday. And there's
what happened? How old was he?
So he turned 58 on the 25th, the day before he made his transition, and he had diabetes and kidney transplant, and he got an infection in his blood, which was causing his heart not to work properly, and then he became septic. So, I mean, he had a lifetime of health issues, so I do believe that it's divine. The issue that I'm reaching out to you is about Mother. She's almost 80, and he lived with her, and they were best friends, and they did everything together. They were supporting each other, and
right.
My mother's very, very, very sad. Our dad died when I was a little girl, so she's like, now I've had 2 losses, and also my sister and I are clashing. We're not really getting along because I don't like the way she speaks to me, and it's her way or the highway, and she wants Mom to move out and get rid of the dogs, and now I'm staying in a hotel, and I think I need to leave soon, and there's just a lot, Carmen, so I don't know what you have to say, but I'd love...
toxicity between a relationship, because it doesn't have to be only toxicity between lovers, you know, relationship can be toxic inside the family. So you see this bickering, this negativity, this blaming, this judging, this inability to communicate, you know, so prevalent. So, because I feel like you've been very damaged by this family environment in your case. I've seen that a lot. I mean, speaking with you a number of times on the radio, I noticed this has happened to you quite a lot. Through the course of your life, then that has a lot to do with the fact that you brought into your life probably not the perfect partner. You brought into your life, and you have actually a hard time bringing somebody into your life. And you had a hard time to express yourself, and you have a hard time to create situation, the circumstances out of each, so you can benefit. You understand? So that's what this damage was done to you, was reflected into your overall state of being, and in your life, with everything that your life showed you and made you learn. So I feel for you, and I do want you to see where the source of the problem. I think you knew, but probably what's becoming more obvious is what's happening right now.
Right. I have compassion for these 2 people. I know my soul chose them, and I need to leave. So I need to leave, so I'm going to be the bad guy that I leave, you know, and I want to heal my relationship with my sister. We used to be really close until she moved back here. But I don't really understand what's going on with her. I think she has a lot of fear, and I do think she blames me for a lot of the family problems.
I think I don't believe in blame and accusation and all these personal attacks just because, you feel to release your own anger and pick on somebody, you know. I feel like you can also force her to come back into your life the way it should be if it doesn't come from her. Do you agree?
Yes.
Did she show you any signs that she will reconcile and be with you the way things used to be in the past?
No, none. None. She acts like Mother. And I stayed with her for 1 week, and I was walking on eggshells, and that's what we did as kids. I couldn't cook in her kitchen. I couldn't turn down the heat. I couldn't open the window. I couldn't put down the toilet seat. And it was just horrible, and I just felt like I couldn't breathe. And she's in a lot of anger because her dad died June 1st, not my dad, and she found out the truth about who he really was. And I feel for her, she's got a lot on her shoulders, and she just broke up with her boyfriend. But also, I'm not the scapegoat. I'm not the whipping boy, and I want her to speak to me with respect and not just vomit all her anger all over me all the time.
Well, you know what? This is something that you should address in a conversation with her. I don't know how ready she is to listen.
She doesn't
I don't know
listen.
how ready she is to respond correctly towards you. She might not be.
No. Yeah, she's not.
And the question comes down to how are we gonna, move forward. There's another option to just not to intervene and just take a step back and focus on yourself because you have a lot of issues in your own life right now, because nobody's helping you, unfortunately.
Right.
Your family people are not supportive of you, you know. More
No,
so, they're more judgmental and blaming than supportive. So that's even worse.
Yes.
So my advice would be, you know what I mean, usually therapists or psychologists don't usually offer advice, but my advice, you know, is still to probably allow time to bring her into your life on her own intention, and don't necessarily try to force anything right now. If it's not coming from her,
I
she's
understand.
not, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, you're okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's been intense. I've been gone 48 days. But last question, so I reconnected with this old boyfriend in Argentina, Fernando.
Right.
And he's invited me to come back to Buenos Aires in May. I'm not sure, though, what you think about him.
Well, it all depends what kind of, you know, what expectation you have from that relationship. If that was a good relationship and if there is a way to bring him back into your life, then why not? Think about that. Think about what will that mean to you. Is that something that you should consider, should not think very seriously about that? Before you commit to this, think very seriously. Do me a favor, Lelani, go to App Store and write down and download this My Angels, because you're gonna love this. You're gonna love it, and I thought of you when I was telling everybody about this. It's called My Angels, one word, and you can open an account, and you will love what you're gonna see there. There's so much light, there's so much good energy coming from thousands of people, and you will feel like you can spread the words about your wishes. And if you put your wish there, you will be amazed how many hundreds and thousands of people will support your wish. It's just beautiful, you know. There's something
and
that
I'm planning
you're gonna
to leave
like.
for Florida in a few days. I'm going to drive out to Florida to check it out.
You are?
St. Peter. Yes, that's my plan.
So when you're around, give me a call. Okay, my love.
Thank you. Love you.
I love you, Lelani. I'm gonna go briefly to Kim. Hi, Kim, my love. How are you, my dear?
Good. How are you, Carmen?
How is everything, Kim, with you, my love?
It's just another day. I'm trucking in there, and I just wanted to touch base with you. I took your advice, and I reached out to him, and I asked him, how is he doing? And he said, I'm good, thank you. Hope you're doing well. And he didn't even ask me how I was doing.
So he was very brief and very short, and didn't really respond to the question in a proper way. Am I right?
That is 100%. Yeah. And I'm seeing on Facebook that he's been really hanging out with this other girl. So I'm, trying to do it.
There's definitely an influence of that woman in his life right now. That's obvious. And we don't know what that is. There might be something temporary, and there might be, most likely it's not something serious. But as long as he feels he gets attention from that person, and that seemed to be somebody he thinks for now he has an interest in, then so be it, And concentrate on your other issues right now and put this on a side.
Yeah. So do you still see him even reaching out again anymore in March?
So whatever needs to happen, in my opinion, that story with that person has to come to an end. So whatever story is there going on that caused probably the whole interaction between you two, and I assume that's why all of this happened the way it happened, because
so he left me for her.
I don't really think left or whatever happened in his mind, the confusion that there's somebody he probably claimed being interested in him. So something did happen. It doesn't even matter. What matters is that story has to come to an end, and you cannot intervene, because if he wanted to engage, he would have, but he didn't.
Absolutely. Right. So I'm not going to, but do you still see him reaching out? Like last time I saw you spoke with you, you thought he was going to reach out like March 12th or something.
It's very possible that until then, everything is going to be clear in his mind and he's going to have some clarity. Because obviously he doesn't have clarity right now.
No, but I mean, Carmen, between you and me, you're a woman too. I mean, wouldn't you feel like you're second choice at this point?
You're not even a second choice. You're just non-existent for this man right now.
No, but if he did come back, I would be a second choice to him, right? Like
you're not going to be a second choice because if he closed the door to that situation, that situation doesn't exist as a choice. So think that way. Okay, Kim, I'm at the end of the show, and I love you. Thank you for calling me, and everybody. I really appreciate being with me tonight, and I'll be back with you next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on OMTime Radio. And please be safe and create a beautiful week and the best version of yourself with love and healing and authenticity and creativity. I love you. I'm Carmen Harra on OMTime Radio.